Alright, what's up guys? In this video I'm gonna show you how you can do your very first push-up. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, welcome back to another tutorial, and this video is gonna be mainly more towards a push-up and not so much anything else. So the thing about push-up, some of my routines kind of include push-up, like when it includes a push exercise, gonna definitely have some push-up to build your upper body, right? And I know a lot of people even be asking me, they can't do a single push-up, so they cannot perform the routine. So I'm gonna address this. A lot of even pro athletes that you can see them doing, like a flag or even some really heavy bench press, for example 150 kilos, they all start somewhere, right guys? Some of them may not even be able to do one rep of push-up, and they work their way up performing stuff like this that I'm gonna show you. It's gonna be 5 different types of ways that you can do to do your very first push-ups, right? Alright guys, so essentially speaking about incline push-ups, the lower our hand placement goes, the harder the push-up will be, right? It's gonna be more intense, like when we do it on the floor, for example, right? As we get closer, our arms get closer to the ground, it's gonna feel more intense, right? So we're gonna reduce the difficulty level by actually doing it on a higher surface. So we use lesser energy now because we're leveraging this, right? We're making our whole body, alright, being able to support it much more easily, right? So this is an incline push-ups, right? So the higher it is, the easier the push-up will be, right? So another example we're gonna do here is by using the wall here. So guys, like I said earlier, you're gonna remember the higher our hand placement, the easier it is and the lesser energy required, right? So this tool that I'm doing right now is not the main 5 things that I'm gonna show you later on. It's just an alternative to make it easier before you get started, right? So everyone knows, right? The higher it is, the easier you'll get. So we're gonna start off with the top. It's gonna be the easiest, of course, right? And then we're gonna lower it. Depend on your capability of pushing. Of course, as you slowly lower down, you're gonna put in more energy now, right? So you wanna make sure you can do it on the wall, right? Which is the easiest. You're gonna make sure you can do hundreds of this, right? Hundreds of it properly without breaking a sweat, right? We're gonna mimic the movement here. The most important thing here is to learn the movement, the pushing movement, before getting into an actual push-up itself, right? So we're gonna do this over and over again, right? To feel comfortable doing it, right? To know which muscle and it engages, right? Try it on every side. Like if you can't do even one push-up, this is where you should begin, and then of course lower it down to the incline push-up like we did earlier. So you're gonna mimic this movement for hundreds of times, right? So anyone basically can do push-up, right? It's just a matter of the difficulty and the variation. The higher it is, the easier it will get. So you're gonna want to start off higher in the beginning before you do your first rep, right? So let's get into the 5 exercises. Alright guys, so here we go back on the floor again, and I'm going to show you the 5 exercises starting from the easy to the hardest, right? So the first exercise that I would recommend you to do when you're starting, before you can even do one push-up, right? This is the easy one. You should be focusing on the static first before you even do the push, right? So you want to get comfortable at holding the pushing position, right? Which is like a plank, sort of like a plank. You hold it, right? Squeeze your body. Now this is a push-up, right? If you're doing it properly, of course. And what you want to do here, the first movement, is to hold this position, right, for as long as possible. Now I'm not gonna time it here. I'm not gonna time any of these 5 exercises. Like you should do like 10 reps, 20 reps. You actually should be focusing on your max number of sets, right? Meaning the longest as you can, you should actually focusing on that, right? So let's say if I can do 30 seconds, I should be holding it for 30 seconds. And the reason for this is some people may feel easy and some people would feel it's difficult, right? So So if I say do 15 seconds or 20 seconds, some people would kind of let go, but maybe they could like do 50 seconds, but they stop at 30 seconds. So they're not getting the best gains, right? But some people, they can't even do 10 seconds, for example. So it's good if they just do 5 seconds. So it's not a good recommendation for everyone. So you should actually focus on the maximum time that you can do, right? And the second exercise, I would call it the plank ups, right? Plank ups. So what you do here, basically, you want to mimic the push-up again, right? This is the second exercise. You're here holding a plank, right? Holding a plank. And what you want to do here is a push-up like what we did the first exercise, right? And then slowly go down again. So essentially what this does is, you're mimicking the push-up, right? This is the push-up, right? So you're mimicking the movement now, but instead of using both hands to push up, you're using one hand to push up, and while one of them is holding on the ground, right? So like this. You're doing the plank first, the plank hold, and then one hand up, you kind of like push it, right? Again, push it up. Like I'm just using one hand right now. Push it up. Again, I'll show you one more time. Push it up, right? So that's it for the second exercise, which is the plank ups, right? This mimics the push-ups without actually using too much energy, which some people would be lacking in the beginning, right? They can't do even one rep of push-up. It will be difficult for them, so they should be focusing on the half rep first, because essentially doing a half rep is better than a bad form. Doing it like forcing a push-up and you can't even do one. Like, I know some people may benefit from this. Like some people will say, I want to do 20 push-ups when they can't even do 20 properly, but they force themselves to do 20. Now, I'm not saying it's bad or anything. Some people like to push themselves hard, but it does not work for everyone sometimes, right? So you want to kind of work your way up, right? Just like a bench press. If you want to do 50 kilo bench press, you can't like, I want to do 50 kilos and maybe one day, 2 or 3 weeks later, I'm gonna get 50 kilos, right? I'm gonna be able to lift that high. It's much better if we start off from 10 and then move it out to 20, 30, 40 and 50, right? It makes more sense that way. So we're gonna focus on the lesser form now instead of getting a bad quality rep, right? So the third exercise is we're gonna use some equipment here. Alright, so I found some pillows here around me. These are the nearest things that I can find at home. So you're gonna grab a few of these. Now we're gonna mimic the push-up once again, but this time we're only gonna go as low until our chest here touch the pillow here, right? So let me show you again the plank position, and then as we go down, touch it, then we push up again. Go down, touch it, push up again. Now as you see there, I'm not actually going all the way down yet like a normal push-up, because I may lack the energy to do so, because it requires more force and more strength to go all the way down and then push up, right? So essentially when I go halfway, then I just touch my chest and then straight away I push myself up. It reduces the energy required and the strength. So, but it also let me train the movement and builds up sufficient strength to move my way up to the actual push-up, right? So again, touch it. Now you may go lower, then push up, right? Go lower, push up. And it's also like a spring, soft spring. It kind of like pushes your body up much more easily. Push up, right? And also, you can increase the difficulty by removing one of it, right? For example, now it's lower, so it's gonna be much more intense, right? So I can go lower now before I need to push up. So earlier, I only able to lower this much and I need to push up. But now I need to go much deeper, right? And that causes much more intense, right? So this is the third exercise, and the fourth exercise I would say is a negative push-up. Right now you can even use your knees, right? Knees on the ground if you want to, but I'm gonna show you the ones without the knees. So what you want to do here, without any pillow or anything this time, you want to go down. So I'm not gonna push up until my body touches the ground, right? So again, I slowly go down like a negative, slowly, as long as possible, touch the floor, and then carry myself up, right? Again, go down, touch the floor, bring myself up, right? So I'm mimicking the full push-up right now. We're getting much closer, right? Much closer now. So if you're using the knees, this is what it would look like. The same thing, you go down all the way, touch the ground, and then lift your way up slowly, right? You want to go down as slow as possible to get as much gains as possible, right? To build that strength, to actually feel the burn, getting comfortable with that movement. Alright, so that's the fourth exercise. Now the last exercise we're gonna do before we can actually perform the first rep of push-ups, right? Actually, you have already seen it earlier, which is the knees on the ground push-ups, right? So as you do this, it's already almost there, guys. Almost an actual push-up. And there you have it, right? After you master this, do it for like 3 sets, your max number of reps, right guys? If you can do 30 reps, do 30. If you can do 15, 10, 8, do 8, do 10. It's okay. Do 3 sets, do it every day, and then slowly test yourself with the actual push-up. You're gonna be eventually be surprised you're able to do more push-up that way, right? Because of the slow progressive, you're gonna improve your form, your gains, and your power, right? Right? So that's the 1 rep of push-up. So that's it for this workout, guys. I hope you guys learned something. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed, definitely smash that like button. Appreciate it very much. Share and like this video to whoever needs it. And if you guys learned something from this, definitely consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.